My name is Anthony Patrick Maneri. I'm a photographer based out of Toronto. I'm the founder and principal photographer for a project I've been working on for the past 3 years called Arrested Movement. I do commercial work as well.
My name is Chloe C., and I am the co-founder of the feminismproject.com. I'm a journalist and an activist.
My name is Theo Tams. I'm a singer-songwriter. I've been doing it, I guess, professionally around 10 years now.
So my name is Peril Pandya, and I'm a community arts programmer and producer and educator. And who am I? I am someone who really desires to connect with people, and having hard conversations is important to me as well.
I am Rex Harrington, and I was a principal dancer for the National Ballet of Canada for, 25 years. And I retired 15 years ago, and I became artist in residence, so I teach and coach at the National Ballet.
Hi, my name is Ali J. Eisner. I am 45 years old. My birthday is May 13th, 1973. I work in children's television for the last 25 years. I've been an on-air puppeteer and a director and a producer and a writer. And I'm also a photographer. And I recently have been directing lots of music videos. I'm a nature person. I'm an animal lover. I am transgender. I identify as non-binary. I also don't have boobs.
Who am I? I am Carlos Fortin, and I am an actor for TV and film.
My name is Alexi Penot. I'm a visual and sculptural artist, and I want to make art for a lot of diverse queers within Toronto and in Canada.
So I am Ayelani, aka Witch Prophet. I am the co-founder of 88 Days of Fortune, now known as Heart Lake Records. Started off as a collective to provide platforms for youth to perform and to just work on their artwork. Yeah. I'm also a singer-songwriter.
Hey, I'm Jordan Black, and I'm the lead vocalist of Like Pacific, and yeah.
Being queer doesn't really affect my craft. First of all, I don't identify with being queer. I identify with being gay. To me, queer is a derogatory term. It could be my age. I know a lot of people today embrace that term, but I don't. I think it doesn't really affect my craft being gay, but I would say the one positive thing that would come out of that would be that I'm way more open-minded.
My queer identity obviously affects my work, the work I put out, and it affects rather positively because it's part of my identity. I feel like I'm representing the community in all the work that I do. And it's important for other folks out there to see that representation in writing, on screen, within the heteronormative community. It helps normalize the queer identity, and I think that just being queer, being out and doing well results in a really positive outlook for the masses.
I think that being a queer artist has helped in a positive way just because it kind of has forced me to be authentic and vulnerable and honest in a way that maybe, you know, other artists who identify a different way don't have that same, the same struggle and the same journey. So I think, yeah, I think that it's just really kind of forced that authenticity?
Well, I feel that my craft affects my art positively by being able to make a bridge with other people through my art or a bridge to myself. So with other people, it would be putting out something that I am currently experiencing or something that I've experienced in the past, and perhaps they can see themselves reflected and not feel so alone. Or perhaps they're learning about someone like me, which is really rad. So I think that that's all positive, learning and education. And if it's positive for my own self, it's me reflecting on where I've been and getting a better understanding of myself, and then sharing it with everyone.
Being queer has enabled my craft. It definitely hasn't hindered my craft for sure. In my self-identity, I feel like queerness is where I found myself. I felt that there were many things that I could relate to, but there were many things I couldn't do, and being queer felt like a comfortable place for me to identify myself. And you know, and I felt that way since I was in my early 20s, and I continue to feel that, well, you know, in terms of a relationship with an identity as well. I think it really speaks volumes. I'm really just about, you know, being able to create spaces where we can appreciate each other's similarities, but appreciate each other's differences as well.
I think being queer has hindered my craft a little bit. I mean, at times, like I said, in like a very heterosexual scene, it's hard, you know, because a lot of people don't want to give you the chance. They don't want to talk to you. They can't relate to you, so they don't want to listen to your lyrics. They don't want to listen to your music because they're like, well, he's just talking about men all the time, and that's not necessarily the case. Even if I am, it's not like I'm, for the most part, it's all gender neutral. I'm not going to talk about like, you know, he ruined my life, this, that. It's like, it's not like that's corny, so I'm not going to do that. But, you know, I do find that maybe we won't be as big or won't get as big because I am gay, and, you know, a lot of people just aren't willing to, they're not ready to have a pop punk vocalist yet that is open.
So being queer hasn't necessarily hindered my craft per se, but it's hindered my networks to a point where when I first came out, I had a lot of people who I was rolling within the straight community who didn't understand as like being a black woman in hip hop and in R&B. It was like a weird thing for me to be promoting very openly my queerness. So I lost a lot of networks in that aspect, but obviously like that was in 2009, and a lot of those people have grown and changed their mindset, and so has the scene like amazingly changed. And I think definitely it hindered it in for a moment, and but that's because of the way the world is and people's mindsets, and those things can change, so it was good.
I think that in the start of my career, it was always, you can't let people know that you're gay, because once people know that you're gay, suddenly you're typecast. I'll never be able to play a straight character. Everyone's always going to think that I'm gay. So it was always that kind of fear, I want to say, that I was going to be put only in gay roles, but it never really manifested. I've always been out and open, and nothing has ever happened. Like, I don't know, I guess it's just my physicality itself.
My advice to other queer artists, young queer artists, would be surrounded by the people that love you and support your craft and your creativity, because that will definitely help you grow as an artist. And just keep making as much work, even if it's bad work or terrible work. Like, you're queer, and like as long as you make your work visible, it's valid, and it's worth people seeing your creativity and your worth.
My advice to queer artists like myself, well, in that question, queer artists, but no one is like me, and you are you. So I would say stay authentic to yourself, stay authentic to your craft and what you believe in and what your vision is. Dig as you can through all your memories and your experiences, and share those as authentically as you can. Stay gold, stay strong, take no shit and be kind.
I think my advice would be two things. Recognize that your art is just, it's more than a career path. It's more than, the daily grind. It's your purpose. That's why you're here, is to create. And I think the other thing is just persist, like a motherfucker. Just keep going, and persist the hardest on the days that you want to give up. I think that would be it.
If I was going to give any advice to young dancers or people wanting to dance, it would be that you have to commit 100% to what you're doing, because it's a very short career and you don't have a lot of time, and you have to decide, do you want to be a big fish in a little pond or a little fish in a big pond, depending on where you dance. And I find, talk to a lot of the young dancers now who get so upset being in a big company. I said, well, go to Europe, go here, go explore. There's, if I was younger and had to do it again, I probably would have had my career in Europe, because there's so many companies. But I was afraid to travel and go and branch out. I mean, it worked out for me in Canada, obviously. But yeah, I would just say you have to commit 100% or don't do it.